Look, I'm not pissed to the point where I'm annoyed and I'm going to call people out their names, or especially people that I love, like the person I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. She struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said. It was a cheap shot. It was not a basketball play. She should have been ejected, number one. Number two, there should have been a fine that was incurred thereafter. Number three, not to say that there won't be or hasn't been at this moment in time, I don't know of one. I know the team was fined for media availability purposes because people weren't available to talk.
Did you catch what went down with Caitlin Clark in her most recent game? Did Dijonai Carrington strike her in the eye and leave her with a serious black eye? Clark appeared to take a fingertip directly to the eye, or extremely close to it, from Carrington. The shocking moment, which unfolded during Caitlin's very first playoff appearance, has the entire WNBA buzzing and demanding accountability over what many are calling a blatant incident.
Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted, has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dijonai Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye.
Several commentators are now arguing that this shocking episode could end up doing lasting damage to the WNBA, with some even claiming it has the potential to seriously shake, or possibly break, the league moving forward.
She's going to face a level of racism from black players. She's going to walk into an extremely hostile environment. And she's going to face a level of hostility from lesbian players because she's not on team LGBTQ. She's a Catholic. She's got some boyfriend.
To make matters worse, she finished the game with a black eye after she was poked by Dijonai Carrington, who tried to block her shot.
Let's take a closer look and start by examining exactly what unfolded. During her first ever playoff appearance against the Connecticut Sun, Caitlin Clark was struck in the eye early in the opening quarter. The contact came from Dijonai Carrington, who appeared to catch Clark directly in or around the eye during the play.
She's white, and she's the golden girl that's considered the marketing savior for the sport.
Now, some might argue that this was nothing more than a routine foul. Nothing unusual, just part of the game, right? But let's rewind and examine it from a different angle to get a clearer picture of what actually happened. From this viewpoint, the situation looks much more telling. The replay makes it evident that the contact wasn't simply accidental. Based on this camera angle, the foul committed by Dijonai Carrington doesn't appear to be an innocent or harmless mistake.
When Clark's trying to pass the ball in the first 2 minutes of the game, and this woman swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernails and jab them right into the eye of Caitlin Clark.
This raises a major concern. It turns the moment into something far more serious than just routine contact. The question some are now asking is whether Dijonai Carrington may have intentionally tried to leave Caitlin Clark with a black eye.
No way does somebody's arm go from this situation into someone's eye. Like, that does not happen. Like, look, that very, very, very unlikely to be.
And the controversy doesn't end there. What makes the situation even more shocking is that the officials didn't call the foul at all. The fact that the referees allowed the play to go without penalizing it has left many people stunned and questioning how something like that could be overlooked.
Got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best.
It's hard to wrap your head around it. A marquee player like Caitlin Clark appears to have been singled out by defenders trying to slow her down and prevent her from advancing, and instead of competing straight up, it looked like things crossed the line. Rather than matching skill with skill, critics argue that the opposition resorted to overly aggressive tactics against a rookie playing in her very first postseason game. At this point, it's no longer just about Dijonai Carrington and Clark. The controversy has grown into something much bigger. People are now questioning why the WNBA officials didn't blow the whistle on the play and what this situation says about player protection and officiating standards moving forward.
Foul call. No refs stopping the game to go. Is this a flagrant? None of that. Just everybody moved on.
But what would drive Dijonai Carrington to commit such a brutal foul in the first place? Was it simply intense competitive fire in the heat of the moment, or was there something more behind it? Some are even questioning whether frustration or something deeper played a role. When people point to her past incidents and playing style, critics argue it suggests the motivation may not have been purely about basketball.
Your meal ticket, the reason why you have relevancy, just got stabbed and assaulted and not.
She's also been caught making inflammatory remarks, labeling Caitlin Clark supporters as the nastiest in the league just before the playoff matchup. When pressed about the comment on social media, Dijonai Carrington didn't offer any clarification or explanation, leaving the remark hanging and fueling more controversy.
Dijonai has a history with Caitlin Clark, like many of these girls in the WNBA, but she's at the top of the list along with Kennedy Carter in Chicago and Angel Reese.
And it didn't stop there. From the very beginning, Dijonai Carrington's behavior toward Caitlin Clark was overtly negative, almost as if she was intent on retaliating against a player who might have changed the course of the game. Instead of letting Clark play, Carrington appeared to take matters into her own hands. The footage even shows Carrington mocking Clark during the matchup, making it clear she was looking for an opportunity to commit a foul. Unfortunately for Clark, Carrington faced no repercussions, not a single foul call or official warning, allowing the aggressive play to go unchecked.
A few weeks ago, you tweeted that the Indiana Fever have the nastiest fans in the league. Do you have any message for them going into this series?
No.
This troubling incident also clearly affected Caitlin Clark's performance on the court. Speaking to the officials during the post-game conference, she detailed exactly what had happened throughout the match and how the contact impacted her play.
It didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but it is what it is.
By her own account, Caitlin Clark felt that her performance during the game didn't reflect the level she had been showing all season. The foul completely disrupted her game plan, preventing her from playing at her usual high standard. Her signature skills, from pinpoint passes and those Steph Curry-style long throws to her impressive dribbling, were all thrown off. What fans normally expect to see from Clark was effectively sabotaged by what many consider a petty, aggressive foul from Dijonai Carrington.
Clark is not a punk, but she's also smart enough to know fighting some angry black lesbians, not her job, and it would lead to a collapse of the...
Rather than dwelling on the disruption, Caitlin Clark placed the responsibility for her somewhat subdued performance squarely on the actions of her attacker. She took a brief pause on the bench, then powered through the pain, ultimately delivering 8 assists for her team. This really highlights the professionalism and dedication Clark brings to the court. She doesn't let arguments or excuses interfere with her focus. Instead, she concentrates on refining her own game and giving her best effort, refusing to let others' actions define her performance.
Nails, and these nails, I've seen worse nails than this in the WNBA. Like, this is a safety hazard. Like, having nails that long, and they're longer than this now. But like, nails like that are a safety hazard to play.
During a heated playoff matchup, Caitlin Clark faced repeated aggressive fouls, including a shocking eye poke from Dijonai Carrington, yet the refs failed to call flagrant fouls. Her coach, Christy Sides, also didn't address the officials, leaving Clark and her team under immense pressure. Later, Clark was shoved by Kennedy Carter and struck on the head by Angel Reese, further highlighting a pattern of targeted aggression. Despite the attacks, Clark stayed professional, focused on her game, and avoided retaliation. Analysts and legends like Charles Barkley criticized the petty behavior, praising Clark's composure. Even with the drama, Clark battled through, took care of the ball, and gave her best effort on the court.